The fact is, there have been countless sightings of unidentified flying objects observed in close proximity to cattle mutilation sites.
How you doing?
Hi.
Thanks for meeting us out here.
You're welcome.
So you've seen some pretty strange things in the sky lately.
Noticed some orange lights coming up over the horizon, moving across the desert that way.
Can we see the video you took of them?
Yes, absolutely.
All right, let's check this out. Oh, that is weird.
Look at that.
I don't know what that is.
That red light was always there.
For years, strange UFO sightings have been linked to mysterious animal deaths, often called cattle mutilations, leaving experts baffled. These incidents usually involve organs being removed with surgical precision and little to no blood left behind. Some believe this points to something beyond our understanding, possibly even otherworldly. But what's truly going on at Oregon's Death Ranch? Could these sinister events be hiding something much darker? Join us as we investigate the chilling mysteries of the mysterious Oregon Death Ranch. Horrifying cattle mutilations. One of the earliest cases happened in 1956 near Holloman Air Force Base in New Mexico. An Air Force sergeant was supposedly abducted by a UFO. Later, his body was discovered with certain organs surgically removed and completely drained of blood.
Yeah, it's a strange, small red light. Looks to be maybe a quarter to half mile, maybe further out. Still getting a reading on the meter, but...
Similar strange patterns of animal mutilations have been noticed in other places, like Skinwalker Ranch. This location has been the focus of many paranormal investigations, with unexplained phenomena, including odd animal deaths, being reported. In states like Colorado and Oregon, there are reports of animals found with no blood and organs removed with surgical precision.
They are small-size objects that keep zipping by the helicopter.
Often people also report seeing strange lights or silent, unidentifiable aircraft nearby before the animals are discovered. Sometimes these animals are found far from where they were last seen, with no clear signs of how they got there. Adding to the mystery, investigators and ranchers have pointed out that natural predators don't seem to be involved. The carcasses are usually left untouched by scavengers, which only deepens the mystery. These incidents also have a significant emotional and financial impact on the farmers, as the animals involved are often valuable both financially and genetically. But this isn't the most puzzling part. Over the years, a multitude of theories have been proposed to explain these bizarre occurrences, each more intriguing than the last. Some speculate that these events could be the result of secret government experiments, shrouded in mystery and deliberately kept from the public eye. Others suggest that alien activity might be at play, pointing to the unexplained lights in the sky and the peculiar markings left behind at the scenes. Despite these theories, no solid evidence has been uncovered to definitively explain what's happening.
Oh, that is weird.
Look at that.
I don't know what that is.
The FBI has taken an interest in these cases in the past, launching several investigations. However, these inquiries often concluded with inconclusive results, much to the frustration of the affected communities. The official explanations typically lean toward natural causes, such as predatory animals or scavengers, even though these conclusions were met with skepticism by local witnesses who had seen the strange phenomena with their own eyes. Among them, a local resident named John has become somewhat of a local legend after managing to capture these unusual sightings on video. His footage, though grainy and unclear, has fueled the mystery, offering tantalizing glimpses of what might be behind these eerie events. Despite the lack of concrete answers, the community remains divided between those who seek a rational explanation and those who are convinced something extraordinary is at play. The tension between these perspectives only deepens the enigma, leaving everyone to wonder if the truth will ever be fully revealed. One evening, while filming a blood moon, John noticed several orange lights appearing over the landscape and moving through the desert. He recorded these strange lights for about an hour. What's particularly eerie is that the timing of these lights matches up exactly with when the animal mutilations were reported in the area. John believes this is not just a coincidence. As he reviewed the footage, a persistent red light stood out, moving in a way that didn't resemble flares or any known aircraft.
Did you see that? Oh, look at that!
My God.
Holy crap!
These lights were silent and moved independently, adding to the mystery. But what's even more unsettling is the silence that surrounds these events. Despite the clear evidence captured on video, there's little explanation for what's happening. This leads to even more questions and concerns about what could be causing these bizarre occurrences. Just when you think it can't get stranger, the evidence piles up, making it harder to dismiss these strange lights and their possible connection to the mutilations. This situation is quite strange. What exactly are we looking at here? It's hard to say. These lights in the sky don't seem to match any type of aircraft. Has anyone found a connection between these strange lights and the harm to the cattle? Some people are starting to think it could be something out of this world, but without solid proof, it's just a theory for now. The investigation is now looking into both the dead animals and the unusual lights. The team decided to bring Josh in to discuss the findings so far. The conversation began with a few greetings and an update on how the search for answers was going. The team confirmed that wolves have returned to the area, which could explain some of the cattle deaths. But the evidence doesn't fully add up. Wolves might be capable of taking down a bull, but they don't explain the strange details of these deaths, like the lack of blood, tracks, or the precise cuts on the animals. This raises more questions than answers, and the investigation continues. The team recently found another bull that had died, so they are conducting more experiments to gather evidence. But this isn't the most puzzling part yet. They set up some cameras to watch and record what happens naturally.
And I'm covering all my bases.
So what I'm doing right now is setting up an industrial camera,
hoping to see if it matches what the ranchers have been experiencing with the mutilated cattle. It's a smart approach, but it's also pretty unsettling to think about. If that camera got any closer to the bull, it would be like we're standing right there with it. This job isn't as glamorous as some might expect. In fact, it's far from it. Recently, there was another sighting of these strange lights, this time over a ranch near Burns. That's the same place where Kanan mentioned seeing them before. And on the same night, 5 young cows disappeared without a trace. But this isn't even the most puzzling part. It's an opportunity to uncover something really significant. As the pieces of the puzzle slowly come together, the search for answers continues in the next chapter. Tracking strange ghosts with GPS collars. Things are happening right now. To help out, some extra support is on the way. GPS tracking collars are being sent for the 2 young cows currently in the field. These devices will keep track of important signs like blood pressure, body temperature, and heart rate. This way, if anything starts to go wrong, you'll be notified immediately. The local ranchers have agreed to let the study take place even though their cattle roam freely across a vast area of 500 square miles. Time is tight, so an extra 3 minutes have been added to the approach. The canyon stretched out endlessly before them, a vast expanse of rugged, untamed wilderness. The landscape was a mosaic of jagged rock formations and deep ravines, all carved by centuries of wind and water. In the distance, the dark silhouettes of spruce trees stood like sentinels, their dense branches swaying gently in the breeze. The sight was captivating, almost mesmerizing, and it prompted the team to descend lower, eager to capture a more detailed view of the terrain below. But the beauty of the scene was only a fleeting distraction. The real challenge lay ahead, and it was far more complex than simply navigating the wild. The team had to meticulously mark the exact locations on their GPS devices, ensuring every detail was recorded with pinpoint accuracy. Any mistake could mean hours of retracing steps in this vast wilderness, so precision was paramount. The weight of the task pressed on them, but they were ready. Every member of the team knew their role and was prepared to execute it with the utmost care. With everything in place, the team gathered for a final check. The equipment was tested, the route was confirmed, and the plan was clear. It was time to begin. The sense of anticipation was palpable as they geared up, each person mentally preparing for the fieldwork ahead. They had spent weeks planning for this moment, and now they were all set to start. Their first objective was to locate the cattle, which they had done successfully. The herd had been spotted grazing near the base of the mountains, a welcome sight that marked the beginning of their journey. From there, the team would head to the farm where 2 seasoned ranchers awaited them. These ranchers, with their intimate knowledge of the land, would be their guides as they embarked on a long and arduous trek deep into the wilderness. The ultimate goal was to equip the cows with advanced tracking devices, a crucial step in a broader conservation project. These devices would allow the team to monitor the herd's movements, gathering data that would be invaluable for understanding the ecosystem and protecting the wildlife in this remote region. It was a mission of both scientific importance and personal dedication, and the team was determined to see it through to success. As they set off, the landscape around them seemed to pulse with life, a wild and untamed frontier that held both challenges and rewards. The journey would be long, but the team was ready, driven by a shared sense of purpose and a commitment to the work ahead. The adventure into the wilderness had just begun, and there was no turning back. There they are, cow and calf. This is exactly where we need to be. Everything seems prepared, but if the cattle decide to run, things could get chaotic. We might have to move quickly to keep them in check. The ranch hands will lasso the young cows, and both Jess and I will need to hurry to fit them with tracking collars. But here's where it gets tricky. This activity might spook the cattle and cause a sudden rush. Fully grown bulls can run up to 35 miles per hour, and at that speed, a collision could generate nearly 4 tons of force. This means we have to be both fast and careful. Once we've caught one, we'll attach the trackers to the young cows. As we do this, the devices will gather data, helping us find out if any predators or other threats are targeting them. As soon as they notice any sudden changes in the animal's vital signs, they'll be alerted immediately. One person looks at a map and points out something interesting. Just 5 miles away is the old, deserted Banding Air Force Base. Though it's no longer active, they recall hearing that it's occasionally used for secretive operations. This sparks an idea to visit the base that night to investigate. Another person agrees but decides to stay behind to monitor the cattle. If the animals start acting strangely, it might be a sign that something significant is happening. While one stays at the ranch to keep an eye on the animals, the other heads off to the military base to look for any signs of recent activity. The wind howls, making the surroundings feel even more eerie. Burns Air Force Station in Oregon was built in the mid-1950s during the Cold War. The goal was to strengthen North America's radar system. This station helped cover gaps in radar coverage, making sure important areas were well monitored. It was active from 1954 until 1970. After it closed, most of the base was taken apart and the land was either repurposed or returned to private owners. This station was part of the larger Pine Tree Line, a series of radar stations spread across the U.S. These stations were crucial for early detection and tracking of potential Soviet bomber attacks. Burns Air Force Station housed the 634th Aircraft Control and Warning Squadron, which operated the radars needed for this task. The base was like a small town with housing, dining areas, a recreation room, and other amenities for the military personnel and their families. Equipped and ready, we step into the next stage of our journey, eager to uncover more secrets of the natural world. The exploration of a historic radar installation. But the station's story didn't end there. After it was decommissioned, the site changed hands several times, including use by local school districts. Unfortunately, it also faced environmental problems, like soil contamination from PCBs and asbestos left behind in the structures. Even though the station played a significant role in history, much of the original radar installation has disappeared over time, leaving little behind to remind people of its military past. But this is just the beginning. If the cattle start acting up, it could mean there's more to uncover. As one person keeps an eye on the animals, the other continues to search the base, hoping to find clues about any recent operations. The wind continues to blow, making the search feel even more urgent. As the night wears on, the entire atmosphere grows stronger. They know that any strange behavior from the animals could be a critical clue, pushing them to dig deeper into what's happening at the old military base. The tension builds as they await any sign that might reveal the truth. Many advanced helicopters have special materials in their rotor blades and use radioactive elements in their night vision gear. This is why a detector was brought along. It might help find clues that someone has been here, giving a hint of what's going on. The tracking data from the animals show that they've moved to the edge of the ranch. From a road that crosses the land, their health signs are being monitored from a distance that won't disturb them but is close enough to act quickly if needed. If there's a sudden increase in their heart rate, breathing, or blood pressure, it would suggest they're reacting to something nearby. If that happens, the plan is to investigate what's causing their distress. Every angle is being covered to make sure nothing is missed. The next step is setting up a powerful camera that can take infrared pictures, ensuring that anything passing by, even if it can't be seen with the naked eye, will be captured. While tracking the animals and watching the sky, the search also includes looking for any signs of secret government activities at this old military site. But that's not the only concern. There's also the need to keep an eye out for anything unusual that might provide more clues. Notice this scene. The marks on the ground could be from helicopter blades, or perhaps something else landed here, blowing the dirt around. It's fascinating to think about. The radiation levels are a cause for concern. Normally, safe levels hover between 25 to 75 counts per minute, but now the meter is reading over 1,000 counts per minute. Clearly, something or someone was here recently. But that's not the most unsettling part. There's a metallic sound in the air, almost like a warning siren. Yet there's nothing visible up there. It's clear something is making the cows anxious. Their heart rates are spiking. There's a low, deep hum resonating in the background, and it's definitely agitating them. The cows are moving quickly, clearly disturbed. The younger ones especially are in a panic, and they've taken off in a frenzy. The situation is getting more intense. I tried to keep up with them, but they're moving too fast. We need to hurry and figure out what's causing all this commotion. Hopefully, whatever it is, it's not dangerous or carrying something harmful. What just happened? Everything seemed calm as the cows grazed, but then an odd noise broke the silence. It was a soft, continuous hum that caught my attention. Luckily, my camera was running the whole time, so there's a good chance it captured the source of that strange sound. I had placed the infrared camera on the path leading to the field, pointing it towards the sky above where the cows were grazing before they suddenly panicked and ran off. I'm really hoping the video shows what scared them. Now, let's take a look at the footage. I'll skip ahead to the part where I first heard that odd hum. Do you see that? Right there. Wow, look at how it moves across the screen. It's amazing. Notice how it changes direction so smoothly. That can't be a satellite. Satellites don't move like that. I didn't notice any of this while I was out there. This is truly remarkable. But here's the thing. We both distinctly heard that strange hum from entirely different locations, witnessed the cattle suddenly go wild, and now it's all captured right here on video, a clear, undeniable image of something unidentified flying. Could this be connected to the mysterious cattle deaths we've been hearing so much about? It's all laid out in front of us, recorded in full detail. There's no question that what we've documented is significant. This isn't just a coincidence, it feels like a piece of a much larger puzzle, and we might be closer to understanding it than ever before. It seems that something in the sky frightened a group of cows. What exactly caused this reaction is still unknown. We're not sure what led to the sudden scare, but we remain hopeful and curious about the mysteries of nature. Could the bizarre combination of UFO sightings and animal mutilations be more than just coincidence? Could extraterrestrial involvement explain these mysterious occurrences? Let us know what you think in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more intriguing discussions.